How can a basic cue action routine allow you to play shots exactly the way you lined them up? This is Break from Life. Welcome back, and if it's your first time watching one of our videos, then it's fantastic to have you here. There's a vast number of people out there who consider timing to be the most important factor in a player's technique, but what exactly is it? When we're talking about timing, we're discussing how smooth a player is able to strike the cue ball. Better timing has even been proven to increase the contact time between the tip and the white. Timing the ball well can increase your accuracy, especially on harder shots, and can have a massive impact on your position play. So how do you get it right? Well, there's a lot you need to know before you even get to the table, and the video in the card right now explains all of that. Once you're able to aim, walk in, stand and cue all on the line of the shot, you should then have enough information to be able to play it without side spin. That's up and down here on a vertical plane. Lining a shot up accurately is a lot more straightforward though than playing the shot right, and this is where you've got to give yourself the best possible chance to play it online and time it effectively. And this all begins with the first pause. Just briefly hold your cue up to the cue ball at this stage to check that you're in position with the cue ball, you're striking the cue ball in the centre, and your cue's on a line to pass through the cue ball to where you're aiming on the object ball. After this, feathering the ball a few times will help you gain a feel for the shot. Pausing again to check you're still on line for the centre of the cue ball, before the final pause where your eyes need to be back on where you're going to strike the object ball. But why do we need all these pauses? This brings up what I believe is a very critical point. What do we mean when we say a player plays a shot too quickly? This isn't where a player's haste means they fail to see a more straightforward option, or the speed at which you move around the table, like your average shot time, for example. But actually, what we usually mean by this is a player strikes the cue ball before they've had a chance to line it up and they're ready to play the shot. Playing a shot too quickly refers to the final phase of your cueing. Either you got down on a shot too quickly and hit it straight away, or you didn't pause at the end of a shot or take enough time, and effectively you played a shot before you're ready. But why is this final pause before you strike the cue ball so critical? To start off with, if your arm has a sudden change in direction, then it's bound to wobble. Making sure your backswing and your follow through are two separate operations massively aids your timing. You will feel you're able to strike the cue ball smoother, and as I said, this slightly improves your accuracy and has a massive effect on your touch and control. Here's an example of a shot I've played too quickly. I was on the shot for a long time, but I suddenly snapped at it, meaning I got nowhere near the pot and got nowhere near my intended position. This isn't necessarily the reason I missed the shot, but what happens if I paused on it correctly? Even though I don't stay perfectly still on the shot, I still manage to pot the ball even though I don't really get in position. This is because my timing was better, but my cue still came through with a slightly jerky motion. So having a good routine when you get to the table does help massively, but it's no guarantee that you're going to play a shot online or that you're going to time the ball well. That all comes down to the mentality of timing a shot. Do you think the majority of people playing snooker have a rough idea of a routine that they need to use to give them effective results? Well, yes, the answer is most of them will. But when a player's routine fails, do you think that they're aware of it, or if they're aware of the fact that that was the problem that potentially made the shot go wrong? Not necessarily. You see, there may be a number of reasons why you would time the shot badly. The main one, I believe, is when a player is very unconfident that they've lined the shot up correctly. This lack of confidence can mean a player feels under pressure, and the main way that pressure can affect your game is to make you forget about key parts of your technique. This can leave you with a feeling that you just want to get the shot over with quickly before you have a chance to do anything wrong. But the reality is, snooker just doesn't work like that, and if you want to be successful on any shot, you have to make the entire thing happen. This means taking responsibility for everything you control, like lining the shot up correctly, and following a set routine that you know works for you. Because when you have guarantees that you're going to play the shot correctly, the pressure just goes away. And if you want to find out how you can line up almost every shot accurately, then try Snooker aiming system. It's the video in the card right now and on the Break From Life channel page, along with a load of other videos that will help you dominate the game. And while you're there, make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel. What else can you do on a shot that will seriously help your game? Well, you'll find you'll improve your timing if you'll make sure you complete the shot. This means following through with your hand right into your body. Not only can this improve your timing, but your potting as well. If you remember exactly where your hand finishes relative to your body, if you can keep this consistent, then this is just going to help your accuracy as well as your touch and feel for the game. It's not a good idea, however, to concentrate on getting your hand into this position as you play the shot. Instead, just focus on the point you're aiming for. This may mean your technique goes wrong, but it's more likely for the shot to go right. You can just use your final hand position as a reference to how well you played the shot. So when you're initially down on the shot, you want to stay still so you can check that you're striking the cue ball in the central plane, and this matches up to where you're aiming on the object ball. Once you've got this right, you can then start feathering the cue ball to get a feel for the shot. Before playing the shot with the cue up to the cue ball, you want to check that you're still going to be playing the ball centrally and everything is still lined up. When you finally bring your cue back to strike the cue ball, you want to pause at the end of your backswing. This will help increase the stability of your cue arm when you play the shot. Getting this right can be incredibly vital to a shot success, and that's why I tap the table twice with my middle finger just to make sure I don't play the shot too quickly or time it badly. Try and keep your contact with the cue ball as smooth as possible by completing the shot. Getting your cue arm to follow through all the way to a consistent and predictable position will slightly improve your accuracy and have a massive impact over your control of the cue ball. If you want to know how to control the cue ball in snooker, then try our video Snooker Basic Cue Ball Control. Or if you want to know my plan to improve, try our video How to Play Snooker Improve My Game. And remember, don't just watch, play, and make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel. See you later.